Hello, I'm with the FBI. I'm here to talk to you about some alien sightings you may have seen. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is for just kicks and giggles. Yeah, I like to play a dress up. I think that should be obvious from the mask. Hi. Yeah, I'm Alexis Duran, and this is Dealing with the Supernatural, the show where my counterpart and roommate gives me $5 to tell you guys the secrets of the supernatural. Today, we're gonna go a little different. Yeah. Lately, we've been talking about ghosts, vampires, mandrakes, pretty much magical stuff. Today, let's go in the realm of aliens. Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about Fermi's Paradox. Okay, so this gets a little mathy for my taste, so I'm not great at math, so you'll just bear with me as I try to explain this. Now, yeah, okay, here's a question that might have come up. Let's say one day you find yourself outside. It's late, it's dark, and the stars are starting to shine up there in the sky. You look up, and you get the feeling. You get that feeling, that existential feeling that we all get at some point. That you see how vast the universe can be, how vast everything is, and how small you are compared to it. Now, that's not a bad feeling. That just means you don't have an ego the size of a planet. And no, that was not a Guardians of the Galaxy reference. But let's move on. No, what this is you feel your place in the universe, that you are so very small compared to everything else. And this feeling might come up. Something that I'm sure has happened countless times throughout the history of humanity. That this question, are we alone in the universe? And it's a valid question. I mean, in some sense, I think we've all had this feeling just as humanity. It's like, are we the only species? People have said angels, demons, fairies. But the most use of that question leads up to outer space. Are there other forms of life? Are there aliens? Maybe not on Mars, maybe not on Jupiter as Black Obelisk or whatever, but somewhere in the grand scope of things, is there another life form? Are we alone in this vast cosmos? And the answer is usually one of two things, basically. No, of course not. No, don't be an idiot. And two, yeah, the universe is pretty big. I would be surprised that there isn't other life out there. Yeah, and the Fermi Paradox is basically mathematical thingy-majigger trying to prove that, yeah, we're probably not alone in this universe. The thing is, that's the paradox. It says that we should have life, but we don't. All right, the universe is big. Now, the numbers, the formula, everything is never the same because you can adjust them to whatever you feel is more accurate. The universe is big, and it's just like this. This is a section of space, roughly about this many planets on there. Now, guessing estimates based on scientific data and everything, this number of planets available in this area is generally how many planets could be inhabitable. And then you figure out, you do some math there, what are the odds of these planets having life, and which of them are capable of evolving, growing, and getting interstellar travel. Now, using humanity as an example, obviously it's not perfect, but let's go with that. You need a planet of basically the same temperate zone, the same resources, water, air, that sort of stuff. And you imagine it to be a little older than us because we're barely getting interstellar travel. We've barely been to the moon. We're barely starting to go out there to Mars. So you gotta figure out the math. And you do the math. It says, okay, so this is how many planets you think are probably livable in this big wide space. And here are your odds for finding a planet with aliens that could communicate with us. Now, boils down to how optimistic you are about this. If you think that there are higher chances or more probability of this or that, the numbers can get skewed. The thing is, and this is kind of a major thing, whatever you do, you can skew the number so it's very likely. So you can come up, yeah, no, there's going to be more planets with more life out there. They're habitable, there's more, the odds are higher. The thing is, once the Fermi, the guy who did this formula and everything, and many other people, they calculate these things, and when you get a good odds, say, hey, yeah, there's good odds for you to find alien life out there. We haven't found alien life out there. No, well, not officially. Let's not get into, but let's just focus here. That's the paradox. The basic formula with pretty even, fair numbers for everything gives us still pretty good odds at finding alien life and making contact with them. The paradox of the issue is we haven't. So this is the people who don't believe in aliens. This is what they say is the fault for this thing. Why, if this formula and everything is so accurate, why haven't we found aliens? Okay, I'm just gonna give you guys the answer because, well, I can. Supernatural whiz kid here. Do know about aliens? Have met them? Aliens are real. There you go. Now, the reason why they don't make contact with Earth is, well, how to put this gently? They don't want to. Yeah, I cannot make it any nicer. They honestly just do not want to talk to humanity as a whole. Let's get my involvement out of this for no apparent reason. Humanity as a whole is not a very evolved species. I'm not saying you need to develop huge brains to move things with your mind. I'm saying that technology-wise, we're still considered on the first tier. Yeah, pretty much really low. I have to check the standings again, but yeah, there's no reason for them to contact humanity. Why? Trade with them? We got nothing they want. So yeah, honestly, that's probably good for invasion's sake, but yeah. Humanity has not shown enough promise to open diplomatic anything with us. You know those stories about abductions and taking cows and people to study? Yeah. Most alien civilizations think of us as little more than what we think of monkeys. You might take one from the wild, just study it. Like, just pick up a wild animal, study, try to figure out what it's about. Yeah. We're not, they don't look highly on us. Here is the saving grace about that. They are aware we're sentient enough. We have our own culture. We are making technological advancements and all that. So that is like, it's like preserving us because, okay, let me try to come up with an analogy here. If, let's say, there's a country and you go into a jungle and you find there's a culture there, a civilization you've never encountered before. And remember, as current day, not like imperialist and colonist and everything, you find a culture there. You don't try to segregate them. There'd be culture shock, there would be fights, there would be violence. You try not to do that. You leave them on your own, maybe send one or two people to check things out, see if you can make contact. But you don't try to do culture shock on an entire culture. That's what's happening here. Aliens don't contact us even though we're sending probes and everything because they think we're not civilized enough, not united enough. If they tried it right now, they're afraid that we would react poorly as a species. And I want to say that we wouldn't, but yeah, we would. We definitely would. I mean, yeah, I mean, really, you think humanity is ready to meet aliens? I'm not even being rhetorical here. If you have an argument against that or anything, please comment below. I would actually very much like to hear your opinions on this. The fact is that until we've shown that we have evolved, they're not going to respond. So, yeah, that's the deal. Usually this is, they do respond once they've shown a sign to other lower civilizations. They do contact them. Once they've started to show signs of their own advancement, usually through technology, that they've went up a level, maybe started using the full potential of the sun, for example. So, yeah. Yeah. It's not, I mean, they eventually, if we don't destroy ourselves, they will contact us because we would bring our own resources into the the galactic community. There would be, at the very least, resources, and we could bring culture in there ourselves, and they would be interested in that. But as we are, no, yeah. So I mean, at least they're not invading us, so that's something. I mean, yeah, they generally don't invade people because it's like they know people would fight and they could win, but it's just like a lot of work, and eventually people are gonna say, "You wiped out that species, you are bastards." And well, yeah, I would agree with them. You shouldn't wipe out other people's species because even if they can't defend themselves, that's a douche move. All right. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the Fermi Paradox. Something created by Encino Fermi, if I correctly remember. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Like I said, I do want to hear what you have to say about aliens. Do you believe they're real? Do you think this formula and paradox is all bull plop? Comment below and let's start a discussion. If you have any questions, comments, or you want me to do a topic on something you want to hear about, again, leave a comment below. One more thing. Yeah, you might have noticed the title card. I made got a chibi version of me, and that's pretty fun. Yeah, finally used those $5 he gave me for something. What you guys think? I will put a link down below to the blog of the artist who made it because I like to support them. I liked what they did, and it's great. So yeah, doing that. And I guess until next time, I'm Alexis Duran, and I'm out. See ya.